Hello students, hope you all are sound and safe. So today we are going to start discussing about our next topic. As in previous one video, we ended up with the definition of principle of calorimeter. Now in this video, first of all, we will discuss about how to apply the principle of calorimeter mathematically. Means we are going to derive the expression which will be useful further for solving numerical. After getting this thing, that expression for principle of calorimetry, we will talk about measurement of specific heat capacity of solid by using calorimeter. Then further we will talk about measurement of specific heat capacity of liquid by using calorimeter. So let us start with expression for principle of calorimeter. See, as in last video I shared this diagram with you. So what happens in a calorimeter? Here inside the calorimeter, if there is any liquid, okay, any kind of liquid, water or whatever, and afterward you kept any solid in it, solid substance you can put, or you can keep any other liquid also. Temperature of both initially will be different, but when you will stir the calorimeter, that after that there will be change in temperature. Why? Because there time there will be we are going to mix the water well, and there will be transfer of heat from hot body to colder. If this solid is hot, it will transfer its heat energy to the liquid, or if liquid is hot, then this solid is going to absorb it. And finally we will attain a constant temperature from thermometer we can see. Okay. So here I took two substances like A and B. These are both are having different masses. Mass of A is M1 and of B is M2. Okay. Then if specific heat capacity is C1, then specific heat capacity of B we had written C2. Now let us talk about temperature. Temperature of A I kept T1, whereas temperature of B is T2. So as we discussed with the help of diagram, when we will mix these two in calorimeter, then what is going to happen? They will attain certain specific temperature. As see in this case, we said T1 is more than T2. It is at high temperature, A is at high temperature, B is at lower temperature. And finally they are going to attain certain specific constant temperature. Okay, this is clear? So you are having two substances, you mixed them, they attained a temperature. Now according to principle of calorimetry, what we need to calculate loss of heat or gain of heat, there is formula Q is equal to MC delta T. Delta T is change in temperature. As it is at high temperature, so final temperature will be something low than the temperature of this substance. Like here I had given you, I gave you one example. If T1 is 40 degree and T2 is 20 degree, then final temperature will be something in between. It can be any temperature. It depends upon many other features also. So if it is 30, so how to calculate change? Here for A, 40 minus 30, 40 is T1 and 30 is final temperature T. Clear? How I had written T1 minus T? Okay. As T2 is smaller than T1, this 20 will be less than 30 also. So for change in temperature, we had written T minus T2. You are having mass for both, you are having specific heat capacities for both, you are having change in temperature also. So you can calculate heat lost by substance A and heat gained by substance B. So we are going to apply principle of calorimetry here, that heat energy lost by A is equal to heat energy gained by B. Okay. Simply we have to write M1 C1 T1 minus T is equal to M2 C2 T minus T2. So this is the expression for principle of calorimeter. Now we will discuss about measurement of specific heat capacity of a solid by using calorimeter. For this very easy thing it is that just imagine or just look at the diagram. I made it roughly for your convenience to make it clear to you. See here, if this is a calorimeter where water is already filled and we kept a hot substance. Okay, when we will stir it from hot body, what temperature will flow toward the cold one, and finally the system will attain a constant temperature. So as we have to apply law of principle of calorimetry here, what we need to calculate loss of heat by solid body and gain in heat by this cold body, that is water. Then we will keep it in equality and we are going to get the required thing, that is specific heat capacity. Okay. So first we will write the things related to solid. Mass of solid, I took M. Temperature of solid, T2 degrees Celsius. Why 2 is written here? Because we are going to temperature T1 for water, because water is already filled. Afterward we kept the solid in it. So it is hot body. Finally it will attain some other temperature by losing. So change in temperature for hot body is T2 minus T1. Now look on this side. Mass of calorimeter, first we have to find out. It is M1. Then we will fill empty calorimeter, here it is. Then after filling water in it, again we have to measure the mass, that is M2. Why the mass change? By the addition of mass of water. So mass of water is M2, this M2 minus M1 kg. Okay. Initial temperature of water is T1 degree Celsius. So change in temperature of water is T minus T1. Now all the required things you are having for solid also, for water also. What should we do? Now we have to use the principle of calorimeter. So according to principle of calorimeter, as we did earlier, heat lost by hot body is equal to heat gained by cold body. Here heat loss will be from solid and heat will be gained by water. Here C is representing calorimeter. Okay. So heat loss by solid, mass is M, specific heat capacity we had written C, and temperature change is T2 minus T1. Heat gained by water, M2 minus M1, as we had calculated mass here. Okay. And specific heat capacity of water into change in temperature, already calculated here. Then plus M1. M1 was mass of calorimeter. C, specific heat capacity of calorimeter. Then change in temperature of calorimeter. Keep these things in equality. Now why we started this expression? We were willing to calculate specific heat capacity of solid. Now what should we do? Simply we will keep this C only on this side. This T2 minus T1 into M will move toward this side in form of denominator. Okay. Then measurement of specific heat capacity of liquid. See, for this also we have to derive everything as we derived earlier in the expression for calculation of specific heat capacity of solid. Till equation A. See, this equation. Everything you have to derive as we derived in this previous one for solid. Okay, till here. So when you will reach to this one, that A equation, I wrote here again for your convenience, as you have to calculate specific heat capacity of liquid. So water was liquid, here I had written Cl. What we need? This thing only, this side. So what we have to do? First, this term M1 T minus T1 will go to that side in form of subtraction. Here it is addition, here it will get subtracted. then m2 minus m1 and T minus T1. These will go to the denominator. Simple thing. So you will get this equation. Hence you can calculate specific heat capacity of liquid. Okay. Then one more thing here we should discuss, that if instead of calorimeter we are using polystyrene cup, okay, then how it will affect these equation. See, polystyrene cup is it absorbs very negligible amount of heat. In that way, the terms which were showing heat gained by calorimeter will disappear in both the cases. So in this way, these previous equations will change. Thanks to all of you.